As I mentioned in the other video on part 1 of how to burn ancestor money, I won't be using the actual ancestor money that I normally use. Is because I already blessed it. I already put it in my sacred space and all that type of stuff. So right now I'm just using basically paper bag for just a representation. That's what it's for. And I'm just giving you guys a few tips. I know that you guys know a plethora of things and y'all have your own methods of doing it, which is that's the best way to do it too. You know, just to really absorb and be comfortable in yourself, you know. And when you're comfortable within yourself, you always draw the spirits and things to you when you're comfortable. So that's the best way to do. But what I'm doing today is just giving you guys a couple of examples of different methods that you might use just in case your manifestations is going a little slower. So what we're going to move on for as far as part 2 is names from ancestors and different type of tips that I can give you to get names. One of the ways to get names is actually through dreams. Sometimes you can hear those names in dreams and you don't really know who they're talking to, but you turn around and you hear somebody say, Martha, but it's actually they're calling the ancestor that's standing next to you. It doesn't always have to be you. So that is a name that they threw out to you. So I repeated in the first video, I'm going to say it again. Always write down that stuff that you see in your dream / the spirit world. One of the other ways that I get names for my clients is through that other service that I have as far as ancestor research. I go and gather census records, and on those census records, you can have like 10 plus family members in one home on one census record. And let's not mention they might have family members that lives next door. So that is actually a plethora of ancestors that you can actually request things from that's actually in your bloodline. And that's what I normally do for clients when they get my service as far as me researching their ancestors. Their ancestors. I usually do that for them. And once you have the names, you can actually take on your ancestor money depending on what kind. It's not really specific what kind of ancestor money you choose to use, but I always I do advise and sometimes say that it's better to use the ancestor money that's more closer to your bloodline first. Test that out and see how your manifestations flow, and then move on to something else. But again, I repeat, do what's comfortable for you. But one of the things that I do far as in mine is and I advise my clients after I do the research for them far as the names of their ancestors, is take some of those ancestors' names and write them on the actual ancestor money. Because as you can see on some of the ancestor money, it has other things on there as well. So you want to put your petition, your desire, your wish, and the one that you're seeking to actually help you. You know, always make sure that you put your protective shields up, of course, you know. But once you set your intention that you only want good things around you, only want things that grow and prosper around you, then you would be surprised at how powerful you are in your words and in your intention. So once you find out those names, like I said, you can get me to help you as far as doing ancestor research to get you some of those names, or you can devise and find other ways to get them yourself. But either way, once you find those names and you decide, you know, you want to write some of those names down on your ancestor money, always say your affirmations. I mentioned that in part 1 of this series as far as how to burn your ancestor money. Always repeat your affirmations through the whole process. Set that intention, raise that energy level. You want to have all that type of energy all endowed in your ancestor request. That is what you want to do. And then once you're done with that and you done did all that and you put your names there, you take it and you burn it. Always saying your intention and your wants and your desire.